Joe, what do you make of the situation in Italy now?
It's pretty worrisome. There's going to be confrontation, I think the Commission has no choice then to accept that confrontation and to take it. But it's not going to be just the Commission. There will also have to be a role for the banking authority, banking supervisor, to look at what this does to the Italian banks. And we've already seen their stock valuation going down. And there's going to be a role for the markets. I mean, if you look at what Italy needs in funding, next year alone, we're talking of over 250 billion euros, refinancing part of the stock of their debt, and also, of course, these new spending plans. So markets will really have to look at that very critically.
I have to ask you, and this is only a semi-cheeky question, this is with regards to your previous life. Too much of a stretch, Italy, Greece? Is it the next Greece, another Greece, potentially?
No, it's very different, and we're in a different era. Of course, the Greek crisis had the huge risk that it would contaminate the rest of the Eurozone and create a lot of scare around the Eurozone banking system. Italy is, to some extent, of course, Italy is much bigger in the size of its economy, but it's because it's also bigger, it also finances itself to a large extent. For example, the sovereign debt is, for a majority part, held by Italian investors, Italian pension funds, and Italian banks. There's a downside and a good side to that. The downside is that if there is an implosion, if there is trouble, it hits the whole home economy. The good side is that the only way to get out of this is for Italy to realize that, Italian retail customers, voters to understand that, and then the correction hopefully will also start coming from inside.
Jeroen, what is the risk then that the European Commission rejects this draft budget proposal and Italy, as a consequence of that, gets downgraded and that 2.4 trillion euros in public debt liabilities becomes that much more costlier to service?
Yeah. So I think that's a real risk. I think looking at what they've put on the table, the Commission really has no option than to send it back, which, by the way, is not the end of the process, but the start of the process. Normally, there would then be sort of negotiations, pushing and shoving between Brussels and the member state. My sense is that if it's up to the Commission on its own, if the pressure just comes from the Commission, then that could not be enough. So that's why I think it's important that the banking authorities are involved, because, of course, you put pressure on the banks, then you're talking about the real economy.
What sort of shape do you think the Italian banks are in?
Well, actually, the previous government did quite a bit of work starting in 2016, late, but they started it. The biggest banks, I would say, are in a pretty good shape, but there are very many banks in Italy, and there is still quite a stock of non-performing loans. So they're working on getting rid of that, and they really need a couple of years of pick-up growth and stability to sort out all these legacy issues. And now they don't have that because growth is dropping again, which means that the NPL stock increases again. So it's very, very risky to this restructuring process of the banking sector, what's happening now in the political arena.